The first step to using the Cost Allocation Calculator, once you've gathered your data, including service data, financial data, and operational data for each service, is to enter this information into the calculator application of your choosing. Both are equally easy to use. In this video, I will be demonstrating entering service data into the Excel application. First, click on the Enter Service Data button from the Navigation menu tab. When using the application for the first time, the page will appear as shown here. The data will populate on the page as you enter and save them in the tab. To start, click on the Click to Enter Service Data button to see the pop-up menu for data entry. Enter information about each route or service into the available blanks and drop-down boxes. Then click the Add button to save the route or service and enter in the next one. The data list in the menu shows the routes or services currently saved in the application. Each of the following 6 attributes must be completed to add the route or service to the data list in the application: route or service name, mode, service area, type of service, sponsored type, and primary funding source. For route or service name, write in the name of the service. Note: if you would like to allocate costs for a route that operates in 2 areas, such as a service connecting a rural area and an urbanized area, input or enter the name twice with an applicable description. An example would be Route 1 Rural and Route 1 Urban. This method should only be used if you have operational data available for each portion of the route. For mode, select the travel mode that best fits the service from the drop-down menu. Available options include motor bus, commuter bus, bus rapid transit, trolley bus, demand response taxi, van pool, ferry boat, or volunteer driver program. For service area, select the jurisdiction or geographic area for the route or service. You can either select the default options for rural area and urbanized area, or add names of additional areas such as cities or counties. To add a new area, type in the name of the area directly into the drop-down window blank. For type of service, select from the available options of directly operated or purchased transportation. This field should denote whether the service is operated by the agency or purchased from another public or private entity. For sponsored type, select from the available options of general public service or sponsored. This field is required for sub-allocating costs to local sponsors. Later in Step 3, data on sponsor names, passenger miles, and passenger hours will be entered. For primary funding source, select the funding source that is the primary source of funding or most represents the primary service area for the route or service. You can either select from the pre-filled options for 5307 urbanized, 5311 non-urbanized, and 5310 elderly and disabled, or you can add the names of additional custom funding sources. To add a new primary funding source, type in the name of the funding source directly into the drop-down window blank. All 6 fields for each route or service entered in Step 1 must be completed in order to proceed to entering financial data records in Step 2. If there are any records for a route or service that do not have all 6 fields completed, a pop-up message will appear when you click on the Add button to try and save the route or service. In the Excel application, you must delete the data record for a given route or service and re-enter the correct data if any information in the data record needs to be changed. Select the route or service from the data list in the pop-up menu, then click the Delete button. You can clear the selections for the current data entry by clicking the Clear button. There is also a View Glossary hyperlink at the top right of the menu that provides helpful definitions on terms used in Step 1. Once you are finished editing, click on the Save and Exit button to return to the Step 1 tab. Then click on the Finish and Back to Menu button to return to the navigation menu.